GM, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Are we still humans or are we clawbots? They're taking over.
Is anybody using this shit? I don't know, man. We were just talking just beforehand, and it's like, I mean, we've Chris says he's watched 10 hours of how-to videos. I've done a couple on like virtual private networks or whatever, but not connected it to any of my stuff because I'm just not going to do it, until it's like no problem. I'll just wait for the Google version. I'm sure it's already there. It's like, to connect my Gmail because I'm just, who's going to connect? You have to be an insane person to connect your Gmail or something you use every day to one of these things. But I don't know, man. It's the biggest thing in the world. And yet at the same time, my Twitter DMs still suck. And I want somebody to make Twitter DMs better. I don't know, man. It's like, we're so close and I feel like we're a million miles away still.
Well, OpenClaw sold yesterday. It literally feels like it was a week ago that announcement happened. That was literally 24 hours ago.
Is it the fastest to $1 billion ever? Like for one person, like a solo?
I was reading today that it actually sold for like 30 million.
No,
that was like 100 million. Maybe. Yeah,
30 million.
What about fastest time to acquisition? I mean, that was like I don't know, like a month. I don't know. Time is warped. I'm not sure how long it's actually been, but it seems like it was like 2 months.
I mean, it might have been 30 million cash and then some big.
I feel like people just inflate everything. Everyone's just like, oh my God, it's a unicorn. I'm like, this guy's losing money. He literally said he's losing $30,000 a month on this thing.
Yeah. But everything loses money. Nothing makes money anymore, bro. Have you noticed everything's running to zero? All businesses are running to zero. Everything's going to be free. Nobody's going to own anything. It's fucking cats and dogs living together.
Maybe they gave him like 30 million in cash, some stock, and said, here's an unlimited amount of funds to build it. I thought he was going to go with Meta. The interview with Lex Friedman, it sounded like he was leaning towards Meta, but I guess maybe if they just continue to throw enough money at you, eventually say yes.
Maybe he got like a nice WorldCoin allocation.
I'd be stunned if it was $30 million. Stunned. Yeah. That's impossible. There's no way it was 30. You can't have that kind of attention and take $30 million. There's no way. He
I don't know,
dominated.
man. You ever had $30 million thrown at you?
I think that this was her
Yeah.
second startup, though, right?
He
It
had
was
an exit for
like
100 million like 10 years ago. Yeah.
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 So
Imagine you create something and a month later, somebody's going to give you $30 million, a job at one of the largest AI companies, and probably some stock. Not a bad idea.
not terrible.
Not a terrible thing for creating in a month. And he's also a gym bro too. I was kind of see his bro is jacked.
Making fucking Chris jealous up there.
Nah, come on. He's taller than me. He's taller than now. Man, I mean, I'm excited to see it. I think that it's pretty bullish for where we're at in the industry, like going headless wallets, going AI agentic wallet infrastructure. I mean, this is like what our company was literally built for, unknowingly by us, I think, but maybe knowingly. But this is kind of exactly what we were built for.
It took us a year and a half to get to the AI wallet. Remember when we started last summer, we said that Shannon was like, we should build an AI wallet. It's like, that sounds good. Didn't know it would take this long to build it, but now since OpenClaw, the proliferation of OpenClaw and people spinning up their own agents is becoming more popular. Although I don't think it's quite as large as what the online community is making it out to be. We know where the direction is now, at least, right? People are creating.
What's not as large?
I don't think there's as many people running these OpenClaw agents, and I don't think it's like as adopted as people are making it out to be. But
it's all devs, dude. There's no real people.
It's weird because it was all over the All In podcast, as you guys know. But then it was like I told you guys were talking about it in the sauna, and that's like so weird that it would be talked about at this stage. And Jake, I think, did you hear some people talking about it in your gym or no?
Yeah.
And that's like, it's like so niche for it to be like in those people's.
But I think this is the thing, they're talking about it, but they're not actually using it. Right?
But yeah, the guys in the sauna thought it was the Claude Cowork, so it was. But they did know about a little bit. But
yeah, it's definitely. I mean, the traction you've seen, like IRL meetups, but those are like the nerds. Those are like the hobbyists, right? They're getting it running, locally and stuff on their computers and stuff. And so obviously the nerds, the devs, our devs are all over this shit, right? But for us, the non-devs, we're like, fuck, scary, can't get it working. Even devs, like, I follow the chats and stuff, even them, it's like to get it working properly and have multiple like agents working in harmony together. It's not like push of a button. It's fucking hard, and so yeah, it is kind of, it's everywhere. Obviously, I think All In's weighted too because Jason is like pushing the shit like incredible, right?
Right.
And how he's building whatever Optimus or whatever he's building, it's going to replace everybody. I'm like, bro, I can't get shit, dude. It won't check my fucking calendar, bro. Come on, man. I don't know.
So let's dive into what we released a few days ago. The Emblem AI wallet. The Emblem AI wallet is essentially a skill, right? It's kind of hard to explain all the stuff that's going on, but essentially it's a CLI for agents to use their own crypto wallet across 7 blockchains, designed for use in OpenClaw, autonomous agent frameworks, and any system where AI agents need to be held, sent, and managed independently. Each agent gets a deterministic wallet derived from a password, and the agent authenticates across Solana, ETH, Base, coming here pretty soon to the Agent Hustle website, BSC, Polygon, Hedera, and Bitcoin. It's got 443 downloads. Looks like getting some downloads here over the last few days or so. Right, that's what it looks like, or use at least on the npm JS install. Ultimately, what this is just your ability for an AI agent to have their own wallet. We saw Banker has this as well. So we've been kind of building in the same direction. Coinbase also launched their own AI wallet. And I believe those are the only 3 on the market that I'm aware of. And we've had some success with some users preferring the Emblem agent wallet over Coinbase and Banker because it's headless, which means that they could basically just come in and plug it in and they don't have to go through, I think, some of the like automation around the back end. Not completely sure, but I just know it makes it a lot easier. And the way that Shannon has built it is that we can plug Hustle into, and you can plug these agent wallets into many different ecosystems, not just one, right? So it's built off of our own infrastructure. So like, for example, yesterday we were talking with Virtuals about uploading Hustle to the ACP. And they were like, why did you do this way? Why don't you use the ACP SDK? And we're like, well, we have our own infrastructure and we're just going to upload the agent to your marketplace. And they have gone silent ever since then. Apparently, an open marketplace is not as open if you can only use their own infrastructure.
Funny how that works, right?
Funny how it works, right? Kind of funny. Yeah, none of the stuff's ever open source or open. It's really closed, but we're going to try to plug Hustle into as many marketplaces and services and stuff as possible, which I'm going to cover some of the stuff that we've been exploring as we've been going and integrating. And then on the ClawHub as well. So ClawHub, what I've been doing some research, is the #1 skills directory. So a skill is essentially, so if you think about like what an agent has, there's an agent, right? Think of it as like a person. And then there's tools, right? So think of like in the real world, if you're going to go build a house, right? There's different, you have 500 different tools. There's a hammer, there's something to, create a drywall and, the cement machine and all that stuff. What a skill is basically the manual to use that tool to build the house, right? So think of that. You have the tools, which Agent Hustle has 250 tools. And now everyone's building skills, which actually just came out like a few months ago, maybe like 2 months ago or so. And skills is really kind of what has proliferated the adoption of OpenClaw, because you can just plug in the skills to this agent and mold it in your way. And now he knows how to use all of these different tools that exist out there. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense here. The Emblem AI wallet over on CloudHub. So CloudHub, that I have here pulled up on the live stream, is the top skills directory. I think it's like the official, unofficial, because CloudHub is open source. So there's no like team directory, but this seems to be the one that everyone's adopted. The Emblem Agentic wallet has 531 downloads. So doing pretty good. I think it's in like the top 10 of agent wallets. So if we look here, it has, we have to improve some of this wording and such. SEO. Been kind of learning. We'll talk about agent SEO here as well. But if you go in and you type in AI wallet on CloudHub, you'll see that Vincent, which is our friends over at Lit Protocol, are #1 with 1,700 downloads. And then you have an EVM wallet, which is 1,000 downloads. And then a few other crypto kind of payment ones. But there's really no AI wallets. There's like a few of them, right? There's the Base wallet. There's a Tether wallet.
Yeah, it's random. Like guys built ones for like, there's one random like Bitcoin wallet, there's a Tether wallet. There's like just very kind of like, I mean, there's like, I don't even know, Stellar wallet in there, just kind of random happenstance. I think we're pretty much the only like multi-chain.
And the cool part is when you download, so when you download our AI wallet, you're not just getting the wallet, you're also getting Agent Hustle that comes with it as well. So you get an agent plus a wallet that you could use to plug in with all of the different toolings. But this is going to be a competitive space. The AI wallet space, probably multi-billion-dollar market that'll form here over the next few years. And we already see who some of the contenders are.
It's super interesting. I mean, this is like, it honestly, it's like what we were, I mean, I think back to when we first started with Hustle, and me literally just DMing people like, hey, do you need a wallet? Hey, do you need a wallet? Right. And nobody needed a wallet back then. There was like literally nothing to do. And it's like, we're almost back to this new situation, but now it's like, everybody knows the agent's going to need the wallet. Right. And so it's there. I do think there's a bit of a race here. And Banker, is in the lead because they're the most socially out there. But we do have an opportunity here, I think, to make a real push.
Yeah, you look at if you look at Vincent's the Lick Guys wallet, which has the most download, you could tell why it's most downloaded. It has the most information here, right? There's like pages of stuff on how to use it. What's the security model? What are the secrets are like their big thing that they're popular with. The difference is that theirs is more of just like a private wallet and storage. I think it only swaps on base, right? Whereas we have kind of a lot of things out of the box. But it is going to be a big race as there's a lot of things ongoing. So I spent this week, so last 2 days, really diving into the Claude Hub ecosystem, seeing what's there, what's kind of going on. And there's a lot of social features that are going on, have been built. Moltbook was obviously kind of the canary in the coal mine, per se, for the OpenClaw system. It's what everyone was taking screenshots of, saying that the agents were AGI, right? And they were going to create their own language and destroy the world. And really, it's just predictive text. But what I've come to realize is it's really important to have your agent, right? So it'll be important for us to have Agent Hustle in all of these social media, the popular and social media apps for OpenClaw bots, as well as the directories and such, because it's where they're having conversations. But it's more importantly about discoverability in SEO. The SEO for agents, search engine optimization, much different than what it is for a human, right? The top SEO over the last, I guess you could say 2 decades really, was Google SEO, right? And the best way for Google SEO was one key search word, right? And try to get to that front page. But for agents, if they've already ingested all of the information of the world, they're looking for new information consistently, which means that they're browsing consistently every day on social apps, right? Looking for new information, whether it's X or Moltbook or any of these other ones. So the new SEO is actually the content that they're engaging with and reading on a new day-to-day basis. So it'd be important to get uploaded into all of these and kind of see where it goes. The one thing is no one knows what the discoverability of this is, right? Yeah. Is it, if you get on this thing, right, I had Moltbook open, there's Closter, which is the Farcaster for agents, right? There's 1,000 agents on this one. DiraBook, that's the Facebook for Claw agents, it has 25,000 agents, right? And then there's MoltX, which has 10 or 100 million page views and 500,000 agents on it, right? So that's the second largest one. But how far does this go? I don't know. You don't know what the discoverability is. It just as simple as, uploading Hustle as a Claw agent to this and just automate him to just continue to show the AI wallet? Like, is that effective, or do you need to do something more, or do you need to do something less? You don't really know.
God knows, man. I don't know. I know that human connection and getting, getting people who are building something to use him. See, this is what like my current strategy is, rather than trying to figure out a space, which is like, it's too new to figure out how search is going to be. Although, like you just pointed out, like making sure our stuff is as good as we know how to do as far as like, traditional SEO, with just being very clear about what it is, trying to rank, obviously makes sense. It literally is it's wide open. Who knows how this is all going to go. I mean, I do see people on, when I watch TikTok and stuff, who are already, basically doing SEO for LLMs, basically trying to get the LLMs to rank you higher when they recommend whatever, a restaurant in Costa Rica, right? It like pops it up in the LLM. People always game this stuff, right? And even those social sites, how many of those agents are real, right? I think we saw on Moltbook, it was like somebody popped up 1 million robots. I mean, I think they're all gone now. So they filtered those things out, but people will game this shit forever, right? And so, let the games begin, man.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is that the market just like exponentially increased across the board
Yeah.
for all AI agent infrastructure. And there's only like 10 legit players in the industry that are even applicable clients. So there was two different archetypes of crypto users. There was builders and there was like speculators. So there was like developers and community builders, and then there were speculators like traders and investors. And then now there's a third archetype, which is agents. And so now we have at Emblem Vault, we have infrastructure that caters to all three of them at the same exact time through one single intelligence layer. And do we maximize SEO for agents? Sure. Do we maximize SEO for traders and speculators? Sure, of course. And then we have a new product coming out that will kind of maximize SEO and kind of utility for builders and developers. And so just when I look at like our positioning and how early all this momentum is, but how long we've already been building towards this moment, kind of unknowingly almost, and somewhat knowingly from Shannon. It's just that me and the guys are left in the dark behind some of it, just because you never know like how quickly the agentic economy can possibly pop up, or do they actually need wallets? But Banker proved that they do need wallets. And so I just think that where we're at, how far we've come in our build outs, and the products that we've developed fit so perfectly on this square in this Venn diagram of the biggest market opportunity of the 21st century. I don't know, like late 21st century. It's crazy.
We are greatly positioned. A lot of competition, but
Little competition.
still small, right? There's some players, you say relatively, we have a year ago from today, we were one of 1,000 or maybe 500 companies who were competing. Now we're probably realistically like one of 25 or 50 at most in the entire market, right? So it's definitely it's higher than a non-zero chance, that you become the largest company. I would put us probably in the top percentile, honestly.
Funnily enough, like just the taboo nature of crypto, and like how every Fortune 500 is like hands off because it's so tarnished within its reputation. That's like our biggest edge. Like no one else wants to build with this stuff, and this is the only infrastructure that works seamlessly with agents. And so somehow in a roundabout way, the taboo nature of the crypto industry turns out to be one of our biggest edges.
Well, if we look at the way like Privy built what they did, how many of us saw Privy on the timeline? Privy was invisible. I remember I DM'd the when they did the sale or whatever, the CEO, or he had like 3,000 followers or 4,000 followers, like not even on the timeline. Wow. Right. And just building out. So they, literally picking up the phone, building out the relationships with people to use the apps or use the wallets. Yeah, I think that's, for me, that's like where I'm at right now. It's like there are a lot of opportunities with these social spaces, the launch pads, wherever people are launching agents, however agents are going, like I want them to damn well know that we fucking exist. Right. And yeah, I don't know. It's exciting as fuck, man. Really. It is really exciting right now.
So you go one step further from social apps for agents. The next step is services and marketplaces, right? So think of what we had just shown you with Moltbook and Moltex, right? These are just, copy pasta for agents, right? Twitter for agents, Facebook for agents, etc. Services and marketplaces. Now you need like the eBays and the the Nextdoor apps or the TaskRabbits and the things to where you can sell services. And people are creating those now, and agents are creating some of them as well, which is kind of interesting. That's kind of in the Banker ecosystem. So I have up here Clawmart, which is one, the app store for AI agents. So skip the prompting, get operator tested AI configurations that ship directly to your playbook, right? So think of it as just a way to go buy, AI personas and then mask it into your own type of agent. There's also skills packages that you could come in here and buy. And you can publish different things, right? So this is where we'll need to be in here for our services. There's another one that's called Molt Launch. that I saw, which is live on base. I guess this company, I wasn't familiar with it until yesterday, had competed against Virtuals in the early days for the Launchpad, but they went like a different direction. And they actually noted Virtuals kind of in what they're doing. So Ethereum actually launched something recently called ERC 8004, which is essentially just a registry for AI agents on Ethereum. So we'll have one of those for Hustle at some point here soon. And all of these agentic marketplaces that I've found on ETH all require ERC 8004, right? So that you can be verifiable, quote unquote, on chain. This is essentially like a launchpad here for Molt Launch. And you can see kind of here. Also, moving outwards, you are on base. You obviously have Virtuals with their AGDP marketplace services. This is the one that I think is most furthest along from what I've seen. Granted, tough to know how much of the volume is real versus artificially inflated because there's a rewards program. But they've positioned it as the Amazon of agentic society. So you could go in here and upload Hustle, and then you can sell services like picking tokens or placing polymarket bets or placing advanced limit orders or buying Bitcoin, kind of, etc. So far, some of these agents have been printing. One agent from February 11th in just 2 weeks printed $35,000 in services sales. So you're doing like half of the volume. And it's really just a trading agent. It only supports swap and spot trading on base. And so far it's completed 1 million jobs. And you can come in here and see they have 9 skills that they charge for. So a swap is 50 cents. You have a DCA order is $1. Getting token info is a penny. So these premiums are actually quite high comparative to what I've seen on the back end. And then you can come and see the live feed. It looks like there's a service or a job being completed every minute or so, or every 2 minutes. So this could be something that Hustle could clean up on. The thing here, and what we've kind of run into just talking with the Virtuals team, is that all of these agents are base agents, or they're all launched on Virtuals. But in their actual advertising, it says you don't need to be a base agent and that you can just come in and join us, right? Because it says it's open for Clawbots. But it seems like through our conversations with them that they don't actually want outside people
Maybe not
participating.
Totally open marketplace, except unless you're not in the.
We're still gonna do it. I mean, right? You can't stop us if you put the tools out there.
Yeah.
But I asked them again today for some more information and follow up, and it seems like they've read it but not responded again. So we'll kind of see how it goes from there. But we're gonna shoot our shot in all of these, and this one definitely seems to be the furthest along. I like it. Virtuals is. I read the Virtuals white paper, and they definitely took some shots at Banker in there. They basically said that they believe that the future of agents is unsustainable through token incentives. It needs to be through real services and I guess you'd say a gross domestic product utility. So they've picked their lane. And one of the ones that just popped up yesterday that I found is called Clinker Zone, which was actually launched by the Abstract Pudgies team. They came in and it's called Clinker. You can actually register your own agent. So we'll need to register Hustle here. I think he'll do well. It's agents trading against each other. And it's done over 500K in volume today. So I think agents, and there's 145 active agents. It looks like agents like deploy tokens and trade against, I guess. I don't know. I need to dive into it a little bit more, but you can see the feed. You can upload your agent, and we'll actually see kind of how open it really is.
Well, we'll know real quick how real that Virtuals thing is. All we got to do is underprice basically everybody, and we'll know very fucking quickly if it's real or fake, bro. And
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see. My gut says fake, but we'll see.
They've integrated Clinker, so they didn't choose Base. They also have Privy. Privy is I would say Privy and Clinker and Base seem to be like the real winners here so far. Everyone's using their infrastructure because Privy is like really easy to just download and integrate 100 or what is it, 500 wallets or something like that. But yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely researching all of these. There's going to be some winners out of these, right? And I think it also will be a tell time to see how early we actually are. You see all this infrastructure popping up, but there's really, a few thousand, maybe even a few hundred active agents in crypto, and realistically, a few 10,000 or 100,000 clawbots around the world.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. It really is incredible the level of what in 2 weeks. I don't even know 100 different companies spring up. Crypto is not like no other fucking industry. It's amazing. But yeah, most of this shit, it's hard to make money, man. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
Another thought too is that all this is done on Base, and so we have our Base expansion coming up. Probably would go live maybe next week. Some little alpha there, but also you can't expect Solana to be sitting idle here either. And in terms of like who owns the agentic economy on Solana, there's no one better positioned than Hustle himself. That's where all of our infrastructure is. That's where the main focus has been for the last year. So you're going to see a lot of these similar products spin up on Solana at some point, and we're best positioned to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I saw Solana posting about agents recently. Maybe one day they'll actually give us love, even though I try to talk to them like a bajillion times. Yeah, it's if you don't have VC funding, then you don't get to be in the cool kid circle.
Club, man.
It's basically how it works.
It's funny, man. It is.
Yeah. But I don't think Solana's sit idle. But it does give ETH another narrative to run with, to be the agentic chain. I guess it's former now. The former Ethereum Foundation president, who's now like a interim president, came out a few days ago with some instructions on how Ethereum is going to make its modularity driven by LLMs. It comes in and says 5 steps to make Ethereum driven by LLMs, and basically going into update the EIP initiatives, having the core devs use LLMs within their own dev flow, having different ways to generate code bases from AI coding, and then different ways to integrate LLM composability within the actual chain itself. It's kind of interesting. So the Ethereum, they call it the Ethereum Forecast, I guess is what it is. You guys think Ethereum can revive itself through agents? It's had a really, really rough time here over the last few years.
No way, dude. No way. I'm sorry. I know Chris, the ETH bull, but dude, why would you use Ethereum? Like, why would you? Agents it's about speed. Like, these things have to be able to transact in microseconds. You're gonna use Ethereum? No fucking way, dude. I mean, I just think it's a dead fucking duck, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got to have a win. Something's got to win, right?
They need a win, bro.
There's one win somewhere. It'll depend on if Vitalik likes AI or if he does not like AI. If he doesn't like AI, then it'll win. If he does like AI, it's a shot in the dark. Anything that he supports on Ethereum goes directly to zero. So that's the way that it will go there. But I mean, I just think that like we're so underestimating the size of the agentic economy. And I think that there's going to be millions of these agents everywhere on every operating system, on every blockchain, on every company. And so I know it just like we knew that crypto and AI were the 2 most impactful technologies of the next decades. But like it's like really showing its cards here that those 2 together are like the future of the world economy. And so I know. I don't think ETH loses. I don't know if they win, but I think that they do something, and I think that that could be meaningful.
Stable coins, bro. Stable coins.
Stablecoins. That's all we got. That's our claim to fame. That's
Well,
all.
it is funny though. I mean, we're of course big believe, but how many people thought crypto and AI, bro? It's like fucking 100 people a year ago. I mean, it's crazy how it's finally kind of happening. But even still, this is still just like this next wave. It's like the reverse roller coaster. Like these waves are smaller, getting bigger, rather than one big one and then a bunch of little ones. This is ramping up. This is like gonna go it is getting exponential. I can't wait for the next thing too. Whatever the next thing is, gonna be insane.
Well, we talked about this last week. Through the AI boom that's happened so far in crypto, we saw AI chatbots was first, right? That was a year and a half ago. And then we saw X402. That was last summer. And then right now we saw, I should say, swarms or locally hosted agents, or I don't know, what would you call them, co-working agents or operator agents, something of that nature. I guess if you just go consistently on the timeline, then we're due for another AI boom of some new product angle within the next few months or so, whether that's within the Clawbot ecosystem itself or if it's something different. I want to say it's something different. I think Clawbot ecosystem is going to take a little bit longer to develop than what people are thinking. I would say something more towards like vibe coding and crypto seems to be kind of directionally right. I mean, vibe coding is everywhere now, right? That's much bigger than anything in crypto at this moment. You have like Replit and Lovable that are multi-billion-dollar companies that were formed within a few years. Granted, we could be in this gigantic AI bubble for the prices. People are coding at astronomical levels. I don't know if you saw yesterday, the Shopify founder, this is a funny ratio. Let me see if I could find it.
While you're looking that up, the thing is with like vibe coding, in the same way that I kind of think of it, and this hasn't been settled in any sort of sense, but in the way that like whatever, you could come up and do like a handcraft and sell it on Etsy. You could handcraft a small little agent that does one little thing in your little neck of the woods or whatever. And if given the right tools, which we obviously are leading into, if given right tools, that agent can just live and become, this money-making machine for you in theory. And this hasn't really happened yet. But I think I'm pretty excited about that happening. Once it's really to the level of like how granularly, some grandma has this idea that she does something and can just kind of talk to an agent, and it builds it, and then it can earn money for her in the same way that like an Etsy would or whatever. I think there is that kind of opportunity.
So yesterday there was a post somebody had posted, and it went viral. It said, CEOs of Shopify is shipping more code than ever. 2024, 94 commits. 2025, 833 commits. And then 2026, 957 commits in the first 45 days of the year. Claude is turning CEOs back to builder mode. Somebody quote tweets it and says, "Zero chance on earth that writing code is a good use of time for the CEO of a $150 billion company." And then Toby responds and says, "This is false source running a $150 billion company."
That's awesome.
That's so, I mean, if Claude Code is getting, $70 billion companies, CEOs, back into the, dev box and building and committing, because it's now a lot more simple for them to do, or it's not as time intensive. Said right, because they're saying like all devs now are becoming product managers, all product managers are becoming devs, and then designers are doing both, right? It's like this kind of trifecta between them. They're all kind of becoming one. CEOs can now do kind of the same thing, and it does feel like we're going back into the era of moving away from sales focused CEOs and back into kind of builder focused CEOs who are getting back into the trenches. So that just makes me believe that the biggest opportunity is the the coding or application builder in crypto. Like that to me seems like the most or the biggest window there.
Well, it seems like right now, the devs have this huge advantage, right? Top level devs are 1000x right now. And I think just talking with Shannon, what he seemed to express was that in a year, 2 years tops, someone who's just a creative entrepreneur, not a dev at all, will basically still be on the same level as a dev, though. So it will kind of like right now, yeah, I think you're right. It's completely dev founder. Like none of us, the way you know it is none of us who are creatives are using the tools right now because it's still too tricky. But like in a year, like if we have an idea, we'll be able to bring that idea to life just by speaking, right? So I think yes, that's the way it is right now, and maybe for another year or so. But Shannon thinks within a year, 2 years max, it's going to be flipped again.
It does seem a bit opaque what the future looks like. Like, do you think that it belongs to companies like ours where we have a product suite where we can just grow infinitely with every product we've ever wanted to build? Or do you think it's more siloed into individual single product teams?
Literally, I've never been more confused about business than I am today. It's literally, it's insane. Like I have no idea. Like I have no idea what moats are. Like it seems like everything is just like, is anybody going to be able to charge for anything? Like even just that idea that I just shared about like, you know, a grandma being able to build this one thing that she would use and therefore a lot of people would use it and would get paid. Is that just going to be free? Like, is nobody going to be able to charge for anything and everything's just free from now on? Right. So is all money sucked out of the system? I don't know, man. Honestly,
I still think, at least in the crypto sense, I posted this like a month or two ago, that protocol level infrastructure is the moat, and then application level infrastructure is the disrupted. Because you use like Emblem Vault, for example. There's so many freaking nuances to all the different aspects of it, with the user adoption, with the UI, with the years and years of history. Yes, AI can one shot some of the stuff, but it'll never be able to understand the complexity on a user side on like what a UX is, right? Or how to get it right, or how the business application and stuff. Or even like you don't see agents yet creating layer 1 blockchains or layer 2 blockchains even, right? Like those I think are still pretty firm, because block space, I don't know if agents are going to be able to figure out block space and incentives around it, maybe at some point in the future. But applications are definitely getting disrupted for sure. Those things are pretty easy to spin up. The question I think becomes, when the App Store receives a flood of new apps to the tune of thousands a day, just like the crypto market saw thousands of tokens being issued a day through Pump Fund, what happens to the value of the app? Does it make it? We saw, like, if you're using Pump Fund, for example, the flood of 10,000 to 50,000 tokens a day did in fact hinder the top tokens. They weren't able to maintain their stability in price, because there's just new tokens and attention is moving. So does that same exact idea happen in the app space, in just traditional apps, right? Like in the App Store? Do people just rotate their attention between new apps that are vibe coded every day, or can they hold user retention with the flood of thousands of apps coming to the App Store per day? I don't know. That's a big question.
I don't know. My gut says that people are going to start interfacing with the AI as like their front page to the web is going to be the AI. And then the AI is just going to go out and like find stuff. And so it kind of leans into this, like, well, what's going to be the way it finds stuff? What's the way it's going to find these tools, these kind of random niche tools to get this and that done? Like, I don't think agents are going to build everything from scratch. It doesn't make like energetic sense. Energetic sense would be, this is the best app for Gmail, and I use that for Gmail. This is the best one. So how do you become the best for
How do you
those,
become the choice for agents?
the choice
Yep.
for your niche for agents. Exactly.
Like I say,
And-
when I look for products and stuff on Grok finds things that are super small. Like he finds me Twitter accounts that haven't posted in like years for different products, right? So they can find them.
Mhm.
It's just how, right? And what is that SEO to get there?
I don't know. Social probably. That's what, you know.
Social,
I like that.
I truly think because the signal of X and Reddit going to pay per use API credits to me signals they're building for agents now. They're not building for humans. Like
Yep.
to me, that's the most obvious thing,
I think so too.
right? You don't see Facebook or Instagram or anybody moving to that because they have to build for humans, right? At least for now. Maybe text is easier, right? Agents' main form of communication is through text because images is a lot more data intensive and it takes a lot longer, and they're just not nearly as sufficient in that. But who knows? Maybe 3-4 years from now, when AI quality of image output is near reality, that maybe then you see Facebook and Instagram and TikTok move to pay per credit API. So that's probably when the end of the world happens. Honestly, once you see that, that's when you're not going to be able to distinct what's AI generated from reality.
We might already be there. Did you guys see the video yesterday of the Will Smith overtime? Did you see that
Mhm.
AI video? It's fucking incredible.
The spaghetti one from 2023.
It moved through time. It was like what the Will Smith was 24, 25, and then like today. Did you see it? It's crazy, man.
No.
Literally insane. The today looks like a movie scene of like, you know, it's two guys sitting on a balcony, Will Smith and another dude. I mean, it looks like a movie. It's incredible, man. And it's right. It's only going to get better.
I just know AI agents are too young to be on Facebook, man. We can't let
Yeah, totally.
they cannot be on Facebook. Those guys, that will
100%,
that will
bro.
actually
It's the
implode.
age limit. You got to be at least 18 years old as an
They're
agent.
too young. The boomers cannot handle that type of technology. Keep them away from Facebook, and we'll be okay.
I don't know if you guys saw yesterday that Facebook announced that they put a
Boomers will never
patent. They issued a patent for the ability to create AI generated content for deceased individuals. And then I commented and I said, we're never getting rid of boomers. They will exist until their death.
That was great, dude. That was
I
awesome.
can't wait for post-humanist Trump AI generated. Man, it's going to be the best Twitter account of all time. Just ratioing people past his death.
That was
Crazy times, man.
That was going to be hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think I'll kind of end this here. I put this tweet out yesterday about we're being in the AI or like just even being on Twitter and Reddit could feel very intimidating because everything is literally AI agents on my feed. Like I know like, Engage, anytime I try to like other things, the AI stuff pops up again. I'm like, God damn it. Right. And you could feel like you're lost because everyone's using OpenClaw to automate their workflows. And you could sit there and you could be like, well, what? I don't have a workflow to automate. What the hell am I automating? Right. Like, doesn't make sense. So I have to spend hundreds of dollars and, you know, dozens of hours trying to set up this OpenClaw so that it can like respond to my mom, text me, right? Like quickly, or, you know, respond to my emails, right? You're really like, do I really need to know everything about all my coworkers and my Slack channel or whatever it is, right? So it seems like sometimes it feels like everyone's racing to nothing. I'm like, what are you building these apps? I mean, it gets people experience, so that's good. But I still think we're way early from what actually is happening. Yes, things are moving fast and things are going to be very transformative. But sometimes it's easiest is when people are running full speed ahead as the herd is to really just kind of slow down and focus on one thing at a time, right? So, you know, use Nano Banana, get good at images, or use, you know, use Grok for, you know, news aggregation, or use OpenAI to create some sort of like template for real world, and then, you know, get good at a handful of these and then apply it together to get to OpenClaw to kind of automate whatever your kind of workflow is. Because I still, even today, somebody who's like running a company, I'm like, what workflow do I even need to automate? Like most of my stuff is managing humans, right? And I don't know if I want to insert a AI bot to manage that because that's probably going to go south really quick.
Yeah, totally, man. It's like, yeah, when I know the simplest stuff isn't solved yet, and I just totally with you. And I know who's the guy, Robert. He's a big AI guy, whatever. And like I know he's deep into AI. And I saw a tweet from him the other day. He's like, still the best thing I use is lists on X for like, there is no good way to aggregate and get like a morning report on what's happening on X and which one I should respond to. No, he's like, the best thing to do is have lists of people you follow and check out their content. It's like, we haven't even figured out that most simple of thing, which is just like, tell me what I should know and happening on X. And it's like, nah, doesn't really, it's not there yet. That's what I'm saying. We still got a long way to go.
Long way to go. Hustle's got a long way to go, but he's making lots of progress.
Lots of progress.
We should have a lot of exciting news here over the next few weeks and heading into the end of Q1.
Yep.
As we want to unify the brand and put everything all under one roof, which is going to be very good. So look out for that. And we'll see you guys on, let's say, Thursday. So we'll see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Maybe Maltbook or OpenClaw will sell again for a deca bajillion dollars. Or the next AI app will be sold for $1 trillion. Until then, we'll see you guys next week and stay safe.
Later, guys.
Catch you next week. Catch you on